Good morning to all the delegates and the organizers of Power On February 2023 17th conference. Today I'm going to talk to you on how to increase the life and meet warranty terms and beyond the warranty terms. This is my talk today. Now, as you know, lead acid battery has several modes of failure. The major one is the corrosion of the positive grid. It's well known. Now, next one is the shedding of the paste from the plates. Shedding, the very common one, especially in automotive batteries. You would have seen positive plate shedding. Third one is the sulphation of the plates, particularly the negatives. Fourth one is the stratification of electrolyte in all flooded batteries. It is known for a long time, but then there has not been any remedies. Now, in this presentation, I want to give you two methods of remedies which have been comparatively recently evolved for controlling stratification. Now, what is stratification of acid in a flooded battery? It is the formation of layers of different densities from top to bottom. Top is the lowest gravity, and then as you go down, the gravity increases, and at the bottom you have the highest gravity. This is a normal one. Normally, it happens in all flooded lead acid batteries. Now, during discharge, the specific gravity of the acid falls, as you know, inside the plate and the immediate vicinity of the plates. The acid above the plates still has a higher density. This acid moves down while low density acid moves up due to the density differences. This causes a concentration gradient of acid or strata from top to bottom. The difference can be as high as 50 to 80 points of specific gravity. Voltage at the bottom will be higher because of the higher specific gravity and low at the top. Now, a concentration cell is formed, as I've already told you. A false indication of higher voltage will come because many of you would have seen the voltage is high, then why I'm not getting capacity? That question arises. So this is all due to stratification. Now, the sulfate, what happened? What is the result of the stratification? It causes sulphation of the bottom half of the cell. The bottom portion of the cell is sulfated. Now, use of the battery is severely restricted, affected, very severely affected. Now, naturally, we would like to eliminate this or reduce its intensity. These are the two methods which I will be discussing it with you in the subsequent slides. Now, this is from the Paulo's book, his magnum opus book, The Lead Acid Battery, Science and Technology. The first graph, the first picture shows the discharge, second one shows the charging. Now, you see the discharge curve. On the positive electrode, what you see is during discharge, the acid, the water comes out. Two molecules of water come for every molecule of PbO2 of lead peroxide. So it dilutes the acid near the area. Similarly, on the negative side also, there is there is no water coming there, but then the dilute acid comes out because part of the acid is already used to convert to the lead metal to the spongy lead negative to the lead sulphate. So this is exactly the opposite of that happens during charging. Now, what are the factors affecting stratification? These are very important for us. On cycling, the difference between the top and bottom specific gravity increases. This results in more stratification. Now, you see, on cycling of the battery, that is first cycle, second cycle, third cycle, by the fourth or fifth cycle, the difference between the top and the bottom has increased significantly. Now, deep discharge batteries have higher stratification. So, for example, a forklift battery, which is deep discharge, shows a higher stratification. A shallow discharge battery like the SPV, solar photovoltaic applications, which discharge only at about 10% of the capacity, shows less stratification, and because of that, it lasts longer. Batteries with higher working specific gravity show more stratification. Say, for example, a traction battery, you have 1.28 gravity, whereas ordinary stationary battery, the single cell, which corresponds to 1651, that uses 1200 acid. See the difference, about 80 points. So the higher specific, the cell which has the higher specific gravity has more stratification. The two worlds connected, the two world cells which are connected in series in electricity boards, railway communications, and some rural telephone exchanges use a 1.2 gravity acid, and it lasts 6 to 7 years. Batteries using higher specific gravity, like 1.26 to 1.28, have more stratification and show shorter life. Batteries with lead calcium grids show higher stratification compared to lead antimony. Now you see the graph which shows the increase in stratification on charge discharge cycles of a tall battery at about 80% DOD, depth of discharge. You see the graph. So as the cycle increases, the first cycle, second cycle, third cycle, fourth cycle, and all that, fifth cycle. Now the specific gravity, which was originally 1.29, for example, comes down to as low as 1.24 after the fifth cycle at the top of the cell. And at the bottom, there is a corresponding increase in gravity. So from 1.29, it has gone up to 1.34, higher, very high density. So this is what happens when you cycle the battery. Now, AGM VRLA and gel VRLA batteries have immobilized electrolytes. So this is the advantage. These have lesser stratification compared to, or practically no stratification compared to the flooded battery. The AGM, for comparison, you should know the difference. That's why I have presented this. The AGM VRLA batteries are acid immobilized in an absorptive glass mat, AGM. Absorptive glass mat separator is made of fine glass, very fine glass. Fine glass lifts the acid by capillary action. It lifts the acid, capillary action it's called, like a wicking action you can call it. Wicking action in a lamp, in a ordinary lamp, oil lamp. All the acid is in the plates and AGM. There is no acid above the plates. Please note that. In AGM batteries, there is no acid above the plates. So this is one reason why we do not get stratification of electrolyte in a VRLA cell. Also, you see, it has that wicking action. So both together ensures that there is no significant stratification in a VRLA battery, which uses AGM. Now, as you know, the finer fibers in AGM can lift the acid up to 600 millimeters, that is the specification. But designers limit the height of the battery to 300 millimeters maximum. In fact, the height of the BRLA batteries are much less, really, much less than 300. The the 2-volt cells of 600 and 1500 AH cells used in telecom and other applications are mounted horizontally to avoid stratification because the height comes down. It comes to the width when you keep the cell horizontally. The height of the comes very much less, about 140, 180 or something like that, compared to 300. The actual height it could be about 800 millimeter in a long cell. Now, gel-filled batteries exhibit no certification at all. These are the best, battery for avoiding certification is the gel. The gel-filled batteries exhibit no certification since the acid is completely immobilized in a gel. Charge and discharge takes place at the same spot on the same molecules, so to say. So there is no migration of the acid from one place to another. This is the advantage. That is the reason why there is no stratification in a gel, because no movement is allowed. Therefore, acid above the plate is the root cause of stratification in all flooded batteries. So you know what is the cause of the blood. Now, the possible remedies to overcome stratification, which have been recently, invented, One, of course, the old one is a gassing charge. All of you know when you give a gassing charge for half an hour or 1 hour, then acid gets mixed up thoroughly and the specific gravity is equal from top to bottom. But then this is impractical method. You cannot use that in many situations. It is not every day at least it is not possible. At least weekly maybe, such as in some very high installations like electricity boards or telephone exchanges. This is done actually on a regular basis. They are doing it. But in other cases, it gets, for example, in a house, inverter battery, you cannot do this. Such a thing is not possible. A passive, second one, this is the invention. This is the passive plastic device which is fitted in all the cells. It acts as a pump to circulate the acid during acceleration of the vehicle and deceleration of the vehicle. Possible application in all road vehicles. This can be applied to cars, trucks, e-rickshaws, and also train lighting and railway coaches. Anywhere, wherever there is a flooded battery fitted on a road vehicle, on a moving vehicle, this can be applied. This passive plastic device can be fitted. Now, the third one, what I have given here, is a recent invention by Hammond Group. They have invented addition of lead monosilicate. They call it, commercial name is Gravity Guard, and it is added, at about the 2% level in the positive and the negative, both, and it gives significant reduction in the so far as the stratification is concerned. Almost 80% of that is controlled using this chemical. It's available now in Mumbai, sourced in Yoshimura, or even some of the dealers of Hammond products. They also have this product. Gassing charge to remove certification. I'll just quickly go through this. Gassing charge is routinely used in 2-volt cells connected in series for switchgear operations in electricity boards, railway signaling, and some cell phone exchanges. Gassing charge is carried out periodically as per the schedule and is very effective. Long life is obtained. As I said earlier, 6 to 7 years life is obtained in such cases. Now, gassing charge equalizes the voltage of all the cells. Working life of the battery increases. Auto and inverter batteries use voltage settings below the gassing voltage. 14.4 is the maximum. This is below the gassing voltage. Just, voltage it is. So no mixing is possible. So it doesn't happen. And some of the equipment voltage setting of 15.4 volt, 15 volts is unacceptable in a car, in a battery, since many of the gadgets cannot tolerate higher voltages, as higher voltage as 15 volts. In the inverter battery, a higher voltage setting will result in gassing and water loss. In domestic use, it is not acceptable because water loss cannot be expected to top it up on a periodic, on some periodicity. It is not possible. It is not. It is never done. So we have to do that. Now I'm coming to the first device called the acid mixing device in enhanced flooded battery. This was first introduced, the acid mixing device, the plastic device. It is a passive device. It is used first in the enhanced flooded battery. It was a recent invention by a German group. The reference is given here, 2013. It is an elegant and a simple solution introduced in enhanced flooded batteries. A passive plastic component with a tubular structure, inverted L shape, lifts the acid from bottom to top during acceleration of the vehicle. It happens in every cell. Now, during deceleration of the vehicle, the acid flows down from the top to bottom of the cell. Thus, effective mixing of the acid within every cell happens. This is shown in slides 11 and 12. Next slides. Therefore, it is recommended that all SLI battery manufacturers should fit this device to enhance the life of the SLI battery. Trucks and e-rickshaws obviously will also benefit by using such a device. It's a very low cost item. It's a plastic item, something similar to your packing shims. Now, this is the original, from the original paper. I have taken this. by Ebner, the German paper. Now you see the first, this shows acceleration, this shows deceleration. Okay, that's gone. Varta truck battery with plastic device is shown here below. See, this is a truck battery which has 6 cells arranged in this manner, as you are aware, and each cell has two such devices, plastic devices. That is, this is a pipe which the acid can come from the top to bottom like that. Also, it can return during deceleration and acceleration. This acid is getting mixed up thoroughly during acceleration. Now, this is the invention by the Hammond group, the lead silicate gravity guard, which is added in the positive and negative at 2% level. They presented it at the 19th ABC conference. A new paste additive called gravity guard lead monosilicate PbSiO3 is invented by Hammond group and reported at the 19th ABC conference in November 2021. Gravity guard is added at a 2% level in both positive and negative paste and reduces stratification by as much as 82%. You see that it's a very, very significant improvement in stratification. Availability and price. Sarsen Yoshimura, Mumbai, and Hammond dealers in India have stocks of this item. The chemical has 75% lead. Please remember that, because the chemical, this is not the additive which is only cost. It also introduces some lead. It gives you 70%, 74% of that material is actually lead, and which goes as PbO2 or PB or whatever. So there is not, what I'm trying to say, the loss is limited. The cost is covered up by the generation of PbO2. This is the graph presented by them at the conference. Now you can see that this is see the top and bottom curves are without the additive. The middle two curves show after the addition of the chemical, of the lead silicate chemical, gravity guard. Now you see how much has it come down. You see the difference between here and here, the top and bottom. Without the chemical is as high as I think 50 points, and here it is only 9 points. With the chemical, it is reduced to 9 points. So it is that's why I said there is a reduction of 82% in the stratification. Now, trials with gravity guard are going on. I have carrying it out in two factories. Continuous charge discharge is going at 400 watts underway, and it will be stopped when the capacity falls to 80%. Control samples without gravity guard is run in parallel. Summary: stratification or sulphation of the lower part of the plates. Stratification results in irreversible sulphation of the bottom part of the plate over time in all flooded batteries. Stratification increases with cycling, rapidly loses capacity. This, you must remember that. So on a regularly, just even the domestic inverter battery is used in this manner. It is cycled very often. Probably every day, every few times a week. Stratification is higher when the working specific gravity is high, and less when the working specific gravity is low. Certification is higher in lead calcium batteries, mind you, compared to lead antimony. So this is a battery with a higher warranty and a higher price. So naturally, you must introduce the chemical or the device, the plastic device or mixing device in all lead calcium batteries, higher end batteries. Remedy. Now, what is the remedy? Road vehicle batteries. Passive plastic device should be kept over the group. It mixes the acid during acceleration and deceleration. Adding gravity guard to paste reduces stratification by 82%. This is for mostly for stationary batteries. You can also use in automotive battery, but it's more effective so far as the stationary batteries are concerned, like the inverter battery. Now, this is a request from me. Is I have recently published a book on manufacture of lead acid battery plates in Hindi, translated into Hindi. The Hindi edition is now available, and these are the contact numbers, wherein you can contact us for getting the book. Thank you so much. Thank you.